Ang nangungunang radyong pinapakinggan nyo. Mga katropa, kami nang bahala sa inyo. Sagot na namin ang kulitan na tawanan na palagi sa balita't kaalaman. Aboteng nga ang ngiti mo, exciting dito saan man sulok ng mundo. Kami ang katropa mo, katropa mo, katropa kong XFM. Katropa ng lahat, katropa ng bawat Pilipino. Katropa mo, katropa kong XFM. Katropa ng lahat, katropa ng bawat Pilipino. Katropa mo, katropa kong XFM. Katropa ng lahat, katropa ng bawat Pilipino. Katropa mo, katropa kong XFM. Katropa ng lahat, katropa ng bawat Pilipino. XFM.
Hala, ka-exciting!
Mga katropa, exciting!
Ngayong 2026,
Mas palalakasin pa.
Mas tututok pa.
Mas magseserbisyo pa.
Mas palalawakin pa.
Mas pasisiglahin pa.
mas gagalingan pa.
Mas sisipagan pa.
Mas paiinitin pa.
Ito ang 104.9 XFM Santiago. Katropa mo.
Exciting!
Exciting!
Exciting! XFM.
Sentro. Sentro. Sentro sa paghahatid balita, impormasyon at panayam. Sentro ng talakayan sa mga balita at impormasyon sa katanghalian. Sentro. Programang pangtanghali dito lamang sa 104.9 XFM Santiago. Napapakinggan sa 104.9 MHz sa FM band at sa bayang napapakinggan at napapanood sa XFM Santiago Katropa Mo FB page at XFM Santiago YouTube channel. Sentro. 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 Sentro.
Magandang tanghali mga katropa. Magandang tanghali Pilipinas.
Sentro.
Welcome mga katropa dito po sa ating programang Sentro. Ngayong araw po na ito ng
Sentro.
araw na po mga katropa ng Miyerkules. Ayan. Ika-27 na po ng Mayo ngayon pong taong 2026.
Sentro.
Mabilis po na araw mga katropa, no? May 27, 2026. At syempre, binabati ho natin ang lahat ng mga katropa ho natin nakatutok ho ngayon sa kanikanila pong mga radyo from your FM band 104.9 MHz mga katropa. And at the same time, sa ating pong mga social media accounts, nandiyan po ang ating pong Facebook, Capital XFM Space Santiago. Na ngayon po mga katropa ha, ay nasa 280,000 followers na. Maraming salamat sa mga katropa ho natin talaga nga naman pong niyayakap ang XFM Santiago.
Sentro.
At syempre mga katropa, no? Of course, binabati rin ho natin ang lahat ng mga katropa ho natin sa labas ng ating pong studio. Diyan po sa may Quirino Province, Nueva Vizcaya, diyan po sa may Ifugao. At syempre dito po sa ating lalawigan ng Isabela. Nang runaan, di kita katropa tayo dito ay Apo, Santiago City.
Sentro.
Of course, mga katropa, ang ating pong programa ay hatid ho yan sa inyo ng ating pong mga dekalidad, subok ng produkto ng Yes2Health Incorporated. At dyan po mga katropa, no, ang ating pong pinagkakatiwalaan ang ating pong Santong Plus Gold Herbal Capsule.
Sentro.
Yan po mga katropa, no, ang ating pong kapsula na talagang nga naman pong sumisentro para po i-repair ang, of course, mga sistema ho natin sa ating pong katawan. At dyan po mga katropa, no, yung ating pong respiratory system, diba? nervous system, of course. Yung, ano pa ba? Yung ating pong iba't iba pa pong mga sistema, mga katropa, digestive system. Kasi ito pong ating pong Sentro Plus Herbal Capsule, mga katropa. Alam nyo po ba na meron ho yung spirulina at ampalaya na talaga nga naman pong tumutulong para malinis po yung ating pong mga kolon. Kaya sa mga katropa ho natin dyan, perfect ho iyan sa inyo, lalo na po sa mga katropa ho nating medyo hirap sa pagbabawas. Diba ha? Medyo linisan naman ho kasi natin konti. 1 capsule a day, mga katropa, no? Pwede ho yan sa ating pong Sentro Plus Gold Herbal Capsule. Mabibili ho yan, mga katropa, ha, sa ating pong mga leading drugstores nationwide, sa ating pong Mercury Drug, Watson's Drug, TGP at South Star Drug. At dyan din po, mga katropa, no, ating pong mga suking botika. Hanapin niyo lamang po ang ating pong Sentro Plus Gold Herbal Capsule na may tatak, Yes2Health. 10:54 in the morning at syempre sa puntong ito, nakuhan ho natin, mga katropa, ang ating pong mga pag-uusapan ngayong tanghali po na ito ng Miyerkules. Sa ulo na ating mga balita.
Headlines.
Sa ating mong balitang pambansa, mga katropa, minority senators nag-walk out sa plenaryo habang kasalukuyan ang sesyon dyan po sa may Senado.
Headlines.
Sa iba pang balitang pambansa, kaso laban kay dating House Speaker Romualdez. Di umano'y hinaharang ng House panel.
Headlines.
Sa iba pang balita, mga katropa, sa balitang lokal, lalaki arestado naman sa kasong panggagahasa ng menor de edad. Dito po yan sa Isabela.
Headlines.
Sa iba pang balitang lokal, space program sa Cagayan Valley umarangkada na.
Headlines.
At mamaya, mga katropa, no, mag-update ho tayo sa ating pong palarong pambansa. Dahil ganap na ganap, mga katropa, ang ating pong mga delegado mula ho dito sa ating pong Cagayan Valley. Ilang golds na rin, mga katropa, ha, ang nasungkit po ng ating pong delegasyon. At syempre, mga katropa, no, mamaya tingnan ho natin ang ating pong standing. At of course, silipin ho natin, mga katropa, ng performance ng ating pong mga atleta. 10:56 ng umaga, mga katropa, tuloy-tuloy tayo dito po sa ating programang Sentro. At syempre, no, bilang pambungad, mga katropa, sa ating po mga pag-uusapan ngayong umaga ho na itong tanghali po, mga katropa, ng Miyerkules. Ako'y bahagi na ho natin sa inyo agad-agad, mga katropa, ha. Ito nga pong naganap na sesyon kahapon ho ito, mga katropa, no. This is plenary session number 68 na ginanap dyan nga po sa Senado, mga katropa, na kung saan napakarami pong nangyaring eksena dito po sa natura pong sesyon ho na ito. At ang ilan nga ho, mga katropa, ha, sa mga senador ay nag-walk out. Naku, bakit naman ho kaya ganoon? Oo. Ito po, mga katropa, ha, pakinggan ho natin itong naganap na sesyon, mga katropa. May kaugnayan po sa ating pong binabanggit para mas of course, no, maunawaan ho natin prior on the reaction that we are giving, mga katropa, diba?
Sentro.
So dapat lamang ho na mapakinggan ho ito ng ating pong mga kababayan. Ito po, mga katropa, pakinggan ho natin.
Of course, the ability to gel, the attitude, the character. In fact, when we were hearing this measure on Benny Boatwright, his coach mentioned that among many or almost a significant number of the imports that he has worked with, walang sakit ng ulo na binibigay itong si Benny Boatwright. He is in that sense very manageable and very disciplined, and does not give them any headaches, Mr. President.
Yeah, coachable.
Coachable.
Ika nga, Madam President. And I've seen him, Mr. President, no? And that's why I keep on saying I have no objection of him being naturalized. I'm just trying to do my best to set the stage specifically when it comes to our policies, Mr. President. And as the sponsor made mention a while ago, ang pinaka-importante yung attitude and character. There were rumors before that there are some athletes, I'm not sure if it's in the world of basketball or other sports, na pagkatapos pong makuha yung citizenship, aalis na ng bansa at dun sa ibang bansa nahuli or nagkaroon ng mga kaso, etc. Mr. President, yung huling tanong ko po, meron po bang parte dito sa panukalang batas na ito na nagsasabing hindi po pwede na i-take for granted lamang yung citizenship na pagiging isang Pilipino, kung hindi dapat maging i-embrace din niya yung ating karakter bilang isang tunay na Pilipino na law-abiding citizen at sinasalamin niya yung karakter ng isang Filipino citizen, Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. President, we made this clear during the hearings. In fact, Senator Jinggoy Estrada was there asking Mr. Boatwright about his intentions regarding residing in the Philippines. And therefore, yes, there has to be that commitment. This is his second time to come back. He has already played for the San Miguel Beermen in the PBA, and this is his second season. And therefore, we agree that there has to be not simply a commitment to play basketball for the country, but to embrace, to represent our flag means to embrace what it is to be Filipino. And in the questions that we raised, we were convinced, Mr. President, that Mr. Ramos, who is the wrestling, how do you call it, wonder kid in the US, and Mr. Boatwright qualify in terms of their desire to embrace Filipino culture and become citizens of the country.
Thank you very much, Madam President. That would be all. My high school coach, Francis Chua, already texted me to stop asking questions. But I would just like to put on record that for me, it is important that we lay down our policy with regard to naturalization, Madam President. And I thank the gentleman, Senator Kiko Pangilinan, for answering my questions. Thank you. And that would be all. Thank you.
And we thank the good gentleman from Bulacan, and we agree with him, Mr. President, that the policy has to be clear-cut and that it should not be arbitrary and whimsical and just for the sake of bringing in citizens, naturalized citizens for the heck of it, Mr. President. There has to be a clear-cut policy on this, and we appreciate the questions raised by the good senator.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Senator Pangilinan. Madam President, there being no other reservation for interpellation.
Thank you, Senator. Majority Leader, I see Senator Dante Marcoleta. What is your pleasure, Senator Dante?
Madam President, I ask the sponsor if he is willing to take a few questions.
We recognize Senator Dante Marcoleta.
Willingly, Mr. President,
for
to our
interpellations.
Kabalen from Pampanga and Tarlac.
Salamat po, Madam President. It's still about policy, Madam President. The bill on Benji Boatwright, of course, originated from the House of Representatives based on Article 6, Section 24, it being a private bill. And I believe that the counterpart bill is not different from the wordings of the
That is
House.
correct, Mr. President. The authors in the Senate will be the Senate President, Alan Cayetano, Senator Pia Cayetano, and Senator Bongo, Mr. President.
Yes, Madam President, and let's see, Section 1 says that Benji Francois Boatwright is hereby granted Philippine citizenship with all the rights, privileges, and prerogatives, etc., etc. And then on Section 2, Madam President, Sir Sponsor, the same person shall take the oath of allegiance to the Republic of the Philippines before an officer duly authorized to administer the same. Madam President, citizenship is one, allegiance is another. How do we exactly measure the allegiance of a prospective person to acquire Philippine citizenship? Is it because we had a chance, for example, to win one game or two in a competition and that's it? What is the policy? Did we have, for example, a study that in several competitions in the past when we had the opportunity of taking as much imports as we can in order to participate in international competitions, and maybe we had some glories, maybe we won some, and maybe we lose some. Is that the only consideration because we wanted to shine on one sport that we love most as Filipinos? Yun po ba yung consideration lang? Kasi po, Madam President, yung allegiance po, will take the place of patriotism. One who has the ability to do something more for the Philippines. And as a matter of fact, if that citizenship is granted, he should also be prepared to die for this country. Can we na-measure po ba natin yun sa kanya? Because it seems to me that it's easy to grant citizenship on the basis of how we plays in basketball. Parang napakanipis po naman ang justification. Pagka ganun po ang ating panuntunan lang, paano naman po yung talagang gustong-gusto niya maging Pilipino, but unfortunately, Madam President, talaga pong hindi siya masyadong marunong sa basketball. Hindi natin mag-grant yung citizen.
From Tarlac, the gentleman from Tarlac, that mere being able to play for champion and become critical or significant contributions to a champion team should not be the only basis for citizenship, Mr. President. In fact, in many instances in this chamber, we have naturalized citizens who are not basketball players. In other words, it's not merely because we want to win championships that we grant citizenship, of course in this case to Mr. Boatwright. And in fact, in the hearings, we made sure through our questions, our searching questions to determine his willingness, to embrace Filipino culture, his willingness to settle down in the Philippines was likewise raised. Senator Jinggoy Estrada also asked if he was, did he associate with Filipino citizens or Phil-Ams in the West Coast where he resided, and all that, Mr. President. So it's not merely or simply just because this individual applying for citizenship will bring us medals that is the consideration. In fact, Mr. President, with Mr. Ramos, who is the wrestler, we saw, Mr. President, that he had been offered by no less than the United States Olympic organization with respect to wrestling for him to play for the U.S. team. But he declined precisely because he said he wants to represent the Philippines. And that's where yung tinatawag na, and this was on record, yung lukso ng dugo, Mr. President, hinahanap din natin. And so yes, I agree with him. With a good gentleman, the good senator from Tarlac, hindi lang yung dahil tayo ay kailangan maging champion team na kung sino-sino na lamang ang ating kukunin.
Lang muna.
You've not moved for second reading yet.
About to.
Closure of the period of
Thank you.
amendments.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President. May I...
Okay, mga katropa, no? So, dito po sa parte ho na ito, medyo good mood pa ho dyan. Ito pong mga senador, ano ho. Pero kalaunan, mga katropa, ay meron ho silang issue na hindi ho talaga napagkasundoan, mga katropa, no? Kahapon ho ito dyan po sa plenaryo. Ito po yung parte ho na iyon, mga
particularly Rule
katropa.
14, Section 41. Be presented at least one day before its consideration. Hence, Madam President, in compliance with our rules, the gentleman from Tarlac, Pampanga, and Rizal, Senator Marcoleta, is seeking the floor, Madam President. I move that he be recognized to explain his proposed motion, Madam President.
We recognize Senator Dante Marcoleta.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I would just like to reiterate for the record the proposal to amend Rule 14, Section 41, Senate session. The proposal, Madam President, is by way of an additional paragraph, Section 41C, after Section 41B of Rule 14 of the Senate Rules, which will state as follows. Section 41C, allow a senator for justifiable reasons to attend and participate in the session through teleconference, video conference, or other reliable forms of remote or electronic means using appropriate information and communication technology. I so move, Madam President.
We take note of the motion of Senator Dante Marcoleta. I recognize Senator Ping
Yes,
Lacson.
thank you, Madam
Yes.
President. This is a parliamentary inquiry. What is the status of the motion introduced by the Honorable Marcoleta last May 11? Has it been referred to the Committee on Rules?
I am told that it's been referred to the Committee on Rules, Majority Leader.
Okay.
Yes, it has been referred to the Committee on Rules, and that's why in this particular deliberation, the Committee on Rules is giving it back to the floor for a plenary action, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Has the Committee on Rules been constituted?
I believe that Senator Joel Villanueva is the acting Majority Leader
Yes.
and would be the best position to
Okay.
answer
Thank
the
you, Madam
question.
President.
In the meantime, I recognize Senate President Cayetano.
Madam Chair, with the permission of Senator Villanueva, so the Committee on Rules is not reporting out the...
No, my
the
question,
proposal.
Mr. President. I'm sorry,
Yes.
Madam President. With your permission, my question is, has the Committee on Rules been constituted?
Yes. So, Madam President, the answer there is the same answer to the question of Senator Pangilinan and former Senate President Soto, that in accordance with Section 19, this is the same. They continue to function. Having said that, I was explaining that the motion of Senator Villanueva was not for the Committee on Rules to report out what was referred to them, but to return to the plenary. Because if you look at Section 136 of our rules, the rules may be amended by means of a motion, which should be presented at least 1 day before its consideration, and a vote of majority senators present shall be required for its approval. So you do not need the endorsement nor the forwarding of the Committee of Rules for the amendment of the Committee on for the amendments of the rules. So the only requirement is that it is put on the floor at least 1 day before, or the proposal is made, and that a majority of the senators present will vote for its approval. So I just wanted to clarify that, just so that we don't have any miscommunication that whether or not the Rules Committee met, who are the members, etc. Because right now that's irrelevant, because we have given back to the plenary the proposal. Yeah.
Very clear. Thank you, Senate
Madam
President.
President,
Senator Lacson's recommendation.
does it mean that we are now disregarding the committees of the Senate? So the committee chairman or the chairman of any committee, including the Rules Committee, may just report out any motion or any resolution, refer to it in plenary, and then just, it is within his power to just report it out by himself without any deliberation in the committee, without any committee report. Is that the new rule now, Mr. President? Madam
It is
President?
really...
There's no new rule. I read the rule.
Yes.
Senator Lacson is referring to resolutions or
Motions.
communications or anything referred to the Committee on Rules. We're talking about a motion to amend the rules. We had the option of taking it up, but since everyone asked for 1 more day, it was given to the Committee on Rules. The Committee on Rules has an option to take it up, but the acting majority leader or acting chairman of the committee gave it back to plenary, and the plenary is more, how do I put it?
Supreme.
Supreme, thank you, Senator Lacson, over the committee. So we didn't disregard the committee. It is our choice from the start whether we want to give it to the committee or not. So when we give it, so for example, I have a motion now to to extend the session to June 12 instead of June 5. That could be given to the Committee on Rules, or upon coordination with the House, the plenary can decide it directly, or we can give it to the Committee on Rules, and after he talks to the House of Representatives, he can even report it out, or he can easily, legally, morally, just say that I am tossing it back to the plenary, which is what's happening today.
Thank you,
It's not
Madam
a new rule.
President. That is assuming that there was no referral. But in this case, and I'd like to invite the attention of the body to Journal number 62, dated May 11, 2026. And if I may read the particular portion of this journal, proposed at 6:25 p.m., the session was resumed. Proposed amendment to the rules of the Senate. Senator Marcoleta proposed an amendment to Rule 14, Senate sessions of the rules, by inserting a new paragraph C under Rule 41, which reads, A or C, allow a senator for justifiable reasons to attend and participate in the session through teleconference, video conference, or other reliable forms of remote or electronic means using appropriate information and communications technology. Now, here's the portion, Mr. President, or Madam President. While expressing no objection to the proposal, Senate President Cayetano A suggested giving the Committee on Rules time to discuss the matter. Now, my question is, was there any discussion by the Committee on Rules? Apparently, there was none, because it's now being reported out by the acting majority leader without consultation with any of the members. And by the way, Madam President, wala pang Committee on Rules eh.
I believe that it was mentioned, and I will reiterate from my understanding that there was no Committee on Rules meeting because that motion is reverted back to plenary.
Madam
Meaning
Chair.
we are not ignoring the fact that, of course, committees must hold meetings, but this particular motion is being referred back to plenary. And may we just put on record, it says in Rule or Section 136, the rules may also be amended by means of a motion which should be presented at least 1 day, and we're complying with that, before its consideration, and the vote of the majority of the senators present in the session shall be required for its approval. I believe that is what the Senate President had explained.
Evidently, Madam President, action was taken. And the action was to refer it to the Committee on Rules since the position of Majority Floor Leader was vacated. So how can the committee properly function in the absence of a committee, of the committee members?
As the
Now,
Senate
I'll invite-
President had stated,
Let me finish,
there is a
Madam
rule
President.
of a continuing operations of the committee,
But they
while
were
the new head
vacated,
has
Madam
not
President.
been.
Walang members ang Committee on Rules. So we cannot invoke continuity because we vacated all committees, all positions, including the members. And may I invite you to Section 24 of our rules, Madam President. The committees shall hold meetings to discuss, decide, and submit a report on all matters transmitted to them. This was transmitted to the Committee on Rules. So the committees shall hold, including the Committee on Rules, shall hold meetings to discuss, decide, and submit a report. There's no report, Mr. President or Madam President.
Madam President.
So we're violating our own rules.
We recognize Senate President.
Mr. President, the chair already made a ruling, and it's not appropriate to argue with the Chair, because as explained to Senator Lacson, the committee did not report it out. He read the journal of May 11, but he did not read the motion of Senator Joel today. His motion today was pursuant to Rule 136 of the rules, a motion to amend the rules, meaning if Joel was no longer the majority leader, if I was the majority leader now, or even an ordinary member, that motion was carried. No one objected that we take it up. Because, Madam Chair, we're bringing it back to plenary. So natural po, walang discussion sa Committee on Rules. Kasi wala naman po sa rules natin na kailangan i-discuss sa Committee on Rules. We did that on May 11 so that everyone will have an opportunity to study the rule. It's a very simple amendment. So we should go to the discussion of the amendment if anyone is objecting to the amendment. But definitely, the right to propose an amendment is a right guaranteed by our rules. Senator Marcoleta has an amendment. We should go to discussing the merits or demerits of having that rule. You already ruled that it is proper for the plenary to take it up. So may I request or move that we, if there are any objection, we discuss their objection.
I'm objecting. That's the effect of my manifestation, Madam President. I'm objecting because I'm invoking Section 24 of our rules. And as I read into the records, the journal of May 11, 2026, na-refer po ito sa Committee on Rules. And there was no discussion. Action was taken actually by this body.
Then, Madam Chair, if there's an objection, may I move that we divide the House?
Point of order, Madam President.
On that issue, not on the issue of whether or not the rule is good. That your issue is whether or not it's proper to take it up on the floor. The position of the majority is that there's no rule being violated. So we will vote. The presiding officer has already ruled, but the gentleman continues to object. So we have to vote on it. We're not voting on the amendment yet. We're voting on whether the amendment is proper or not.
Yes, interjection, Madam President.
Yes, Minority Leader, Senator Soto.
We will have to support that resolution or thinking of Senator Lacson, which is we did not constitute the Committee on Rules. So what are we discussing right now? I suggest that we constitute the Committee on Rules and discuss it there. How do I know this? Ako minority leader hindi ako member ng rules. Ex officio Tumawag ba? Hindi. Ano to? Binabraso?
Point of order, Madam Chairman. Where in the rules does it say that an amendment has to pass the Committee on Rules?
Section 24, Madam President.
Anong sabi po sa Section 24?
The committee shall hold meetings to discuss, decide, and submit a report on all matters transmitted to them.
Madam Chairman, that's not the rule. The rule
Yes.
is 136.
136.
So,
Can you please, for the third time, may we request the Senate President to read into the record
the rules
Rule
may be amended
136.
by means of a motion which would be presented at least one day before its consideration, and the vote of the majority of the senators present in the session hall shall be required for its approval. So I respect their objection. But how do we determine objections in this Senate? We vote. So if there is an objection, they have already explained their position. We have explained our position. I move that we divide the House, Madam Chair.
May I, Mr. President? We are several members of the minority here, and only Senator Lacson has spoken. Why are we railroading this process, Mr. President? I have a number of issues that I'd like to raise regarding this motion, Mr. President. They are citing Section 136, assuming, for the sake of argument, that their position is correct. The second paragraph, Mr. President, says the rules may also be amended by means of a motion, which should be presented at least one day before its consideration. We submit, Mr. President, that the earlier motion that may also be amended by means of a motion, which should be presented at least one day before its consideration. We submit that the motion that was mentioned last May 11 was referred to the Committee on Rules.
Yeah.
This is a new motion, Mr. President, that is being presented on the floor, which requires that it be presented one day before it is considered. And therefore, we have to consider this motion on Monday, Mr. President.
As explained by the acting majority leader, the motion of Senator Marcoleta has been brought to the plenary, and both the majority and the minority had mentioned Rule Section 136, and it says that the vote of the majority of the senators present in session shall be required for the
Madam
approval.
President.
I believe that this rule has been mentioned more than 5 times.
Madam President.
I believe also that the interpretation of the rule is different. So I take note of the manifestation of Senator Pangilinan.
Mr. President, if I may just continue, Mr. President. All in previous...
Senator Lacson actually has the floor.
Yes, with the permission of Senator Lacson.
Senator Lacson has the floor. May we continue with the manifestation of Senator Lacson, and then after him, he will yield to Senator Pangilinan.
Madam President, the invocation of the Senate President of Rule 136 is premised on the assumption that there was no action taken. But we took action. We referred it to the Committee on Rules. So Section 24 now applies, Madam President. You're going to just ram down our throat something that numbers can dictate,
Madam
Mr.
Chair.
President.
Yes, Senate President.
Madam Chair,
Cayetano.
first of all, we're just repeating the arguments. I respect his argument, but I disagree with it. Secondly, they've used already 3 words: ram down their throat, railroaded, binabraso. In this democratic institution, when we disagree, we vote. When we have rules, we follow the rules. The particular rule in amending the rules is 136. We're following that. So why are we using unparliamentary language to express or try to provoke the kind of argument we don't want between the majority and minority? You have your opinion, we respect that, we have our opinion. So how do we resolve that? By voting. Now, if you think we violated the rule, then go to court. But we do not think that we violated the rule. It is very clear. So my point of order, Madam Chair, they're out of order by insisting that there's another rule except for 136. So I move that we vote on it, Madam President. We divide the House.
Objection.
No.
Objection.
If there's an objection, then we vote. So may we proceed with the vote, Madam President?
Mr. President, I was earlier, it was the manifestation of the presiding officer, the Madam Chairperson, that after Senator Lacson, I be allowed to speak, Mr. President. Are we now curtailing my right to speak, Mr. President?
Madam Chair,
we are
can
not
I
able
answer
to ask questions as to why we are amending the rules. We are not able to ask questions as to who they wish,
Madam Chair, may I answer?
who will benefit from the amendment to the rules.
For the
Is this
kind
rule, Mr.
information
President?
of
Is this
the-
rule, Mr. President, for
I was
Senator
about to
Bato, who is not
recognize
here?
Senator
We would
Pangilinan.
like to raise these valid questions, Mr. President, before we go into a vote, Mr.
Madam Chair.
President.
Yes,
These,
Madam
we
Chair.
should not be...
How can the
ar-
presiding officer recognize Senator Pangilinan? Please know that I would never curtail your right to speak. Just as in 2004, I believe you were seated, and I was a vice presidential candidate of FPJ then, and my microphone was closed, and my right to speak was closed, was not given. I remember the time now, and the word noted was said to me. That will not happen now. I will not do that to you. And I'm not curtailing your right to speak, Senator Pangilinan, except that you were speaking at the same time. And I was about to recognize you because Senator Lacson had the floor.
Thank you, Madam President, for
So
the
I just wanted
clarification.
to be clear on record because I
If-
recognize you're being emotional, but it will go on Senate record that the presiding officer was curtailing your right to speak. I would never do that. And I would not do what I experienced in 2004 in the House of Representatives in the canvassing of the votes then.
Mr. President,
Thank you.
Madam President, with due respect, Mr. President, I was
I'm
not
yielding-
referring to the
Madam
presiding
President,
officer.
Yeah, I'm yielding the floor to Senator Pangilinan.
Yes, thank you, Senator Lacson. We recognize Senator Francis Pangilinan.
Yes, Mr. President, and allow me to clarify, Madam President. I was not referring to the presiding officer in terms of the curtailing of my right to speak and to raise questions, Mr. President, because it was the Senate President who was moving to divide the House, Mr. President, without sufficient debates. Mr. President, this is the first time I'm going to experience this in a long time wherein debates are now being curtailed because there's a
Since
motion
you're
to
not being
divide the House.
curtailed, we would like to hear your objection to the motion. Thank you.
Mr. President, there are a lot of questions that have to be raised as to why this amendment to the rules is being undertaken at this time. President provides, Mr. President, that when we amend our rules, we do so by way of resolution. We do not have that resolution now. In fact, Mr. President, a total 48 amendments of our rules all went through resolutions. This is the first time after 48 amendments, Mr. President, that we do not have a resolution so that we can
Point
vote
of order, Madam Chair.
and amend the rules properly, Mr.
Point
President.
of order. Point of order takes
Yes,
precedence.
Senate President. Point of order takes
Yes.
precedence.
First of
over
all,
everything
I
else.
hope we learned our lesson. Senator Pangilinan already apologized to Senator Padilla, then now you're shouting at us. No, the record will show, nakatape naman eh, ang taas-taas ng boses nyo eh. Di ba? You were shouting at kaya nga hindi magkarinigan. Now, what's my point of order? We are not discussing the merits yet of the amendment. No one's curtailing your rights because wala pa tayo dun eh. Ang pinagbobotohan natin ngayon, kung pwedeng i-take up sa floor o hindi. Yun ang itinatake up natin. And the arguments have already been laid out. And Senator Pangilinan and I were together in 2009 where we had debates here where Senator Enrile did not even allow amendments. And then we voted. It depends on every issue, Madam Chair. There's no specific rule of the amount of time. I was asking the gentleman about certain issues in one resolution. He refused nga for further interpellation and said it's time to vote. They were the majority. So, Madam Chair, we're here. We're willing. Senator Marcoleta is ready to take questions. Ang pinagbobotohan lang po natin ngayon, simple lang. Whether or not we can take, whether or not the proposal to amend the rules is in order. Yung pa lang ho. Yung specific amendment, sino magbe-benefit, paano magbe-benefit, etc. We support the right of Senator Pangilinan to ask questions, pero wala pa tayo dun eh. So, again, may I raise the previous question, Madam Chair? The point of order, the parliamentary reason. Go ahead.
Be given the right
Madam
to speak. I am the
President,
movant
kanina pa po
here.
ako nakatayo dito at
I need to
nagtataas ng
speak
kamay.
because I am the movant.
Senator
Madam
Dante
President.
Marcoleta.
Thank you, Madam
And then we
President.
hear Senator Riz Ontiveros
Thank you, Madam
and Senator
President.
Erwin
Problema natin,
Tulfo.
Madam President.
Yes.
The Senate President invoked Section 136, Paragraph 2. Kung babasahin po natin ito, Madam President, napakasimple lang. Ito pong Section 136, Paragraph 2, is a special provision in precisely amending our rules. Yung Section 24 po, this is a general rule. Kung mapapansin po ninyo, it presupposes that we will take up all the bills referred to that committee. General po yung function niya. 136, second paragraph, is a special provision. Sa principle po ng batas, yun pong special provision takes precedence over a general provision. Yun lang po, basahin po ninyo. Hindi nga po, it will not even take one day because this is not a new motion. Kung mapapansin nyo, ni-reiterate ko lang po ito eh. It was already moved last May 11 pa po. So that is even more than one day. So who is talking about one day here? Ang pinag-uusapan po natin, unless we respect Section 136, ang linaw-linaw po, it talks about the rules may also be amended. Diretso po ito eh. So this takes precedence over Section 24. Simple-simple lamang po ito eh.
Madam President.
Thank you, Senator Marcoleta. We recognize Senator Riz Ontiveros.
Salamat, Madam President. Meron din po akong substantive na interpellation sa motion ngayong araw na nire-raise o itatalakayin ni Senator Marcoleta yung text na pinamudmod ni Senate President sa atin ngayong hapon. Pero una, gusto ko pong segundahan yung sinabi ni Senator Pangilinan. Bagong motion ito, Madam President. Bakit po? Sa ilalim ng Section 24, ni-refer yung unang mosyong binanggit ni Senator Marcoleta noon sa Committee on Rules. Ngayon kung sasabihin na ibinalik yung mosyong iyon, yung unang mosyon ni Senator Marcoleta sa plenary, sino ang gumawa nun? Dapat ang Committee on Rules. Na-initiate na po ang prosesong iyon alinsunod sa Section 24. Eh hindi pa nga po nako-constitute ang Committee on Rules. Wala pa nga pong minority contingent sa Committee on Rules. So wala pang body na pwedeng ibalik yung unang mosyon ni Senator Marcoleta sa plenary. Kaya ko sinusugundahan ang sinabi ni Senator Pangilinan. Ito pong mosyon na gustong talakayin ni Senator Marcoleta at pinamudmod ni Senate President sa atin, bagong mosyon po siya. Kung kaya't nag-a-apply po ang Rule Section 136 na kailangan bigyan ng isang araw pa pagkatapos ito i-move para talakayin. And tama si Senator Pangilinan, sa Lunes pa po yun, Madam President. Salamat, Madam President.
Madam President, without giving meaning to anything, ito pong mahirap kasi kung wala po tayong legal background dito. Kaya sinasabi ko na nga po, hindi po bagong motion ito eh. Hindi siya bagong motion. Kasasabi ko lang po, May 11, minub ko na po ito.
Madam
Sino po
President,
magsasabi
Madam
na bagong
President,
motion?
point of order. Ad hominem.
Sinasabi ko lamang po, ang sinasabi ko lang, kanina ko po sinasabi.
Hindi po tama yun.
Section
Sasabihin, yung
136.
kasama niya
Pwede po
ay
ba?
walang
Session is
kinalaman,
suspended.
walang alam sa batas.
Ay, nako, oo. Anyway, yan po yung kabuuan mga katropahan ng napag-usapan sa plenaryo po na sa hapon dyan po sa may Senado. Malinaw mga katropa, no? Dahil ito pong proseso mga katropa ng pag-amyenda no, sa isang mga pong resolusyon sa loob ho ng Senado mga katropa ay napaka-technical ho yan. So dahil po siya ang i-fight out ho no, o pinaninindigan ng minority group mga katropa ay wala nga pa nga daw pong kumbaga ay bagong committee on rules member. Pero bakit po naipasa na mga katropa no, ito pong naturang resolution ho na ito sa natura pong committee. Of course, ang pinaninindigan naman ho dyan ng majority, meron pa rin pong functionality mga katropa no, yung committee ho na ito. Though it's not yet, of course, kumbaga ay buo mga katropa no, for the meantime, dahil nga po siya kakapalit pa lamang po ng liderato dyan po sa may Senado. Dito pong mga nakalipas na araw, napakarami hong nangyari. Diba? Upon changing the leadership mga katropa ay meron na ho agad nangyari no, na mga kaguluhan dyan po sa loob ng Senate. Pero ang pinakapunto ho dyan mga katropa no, yung amendments ho kasi dyan, one of the amendments mga katropa no, is to allow, though hindi pa ho ito yung punto mga katropa, yung proseso pa lamang po no, yung pinag-aawayan po nila dyan. Pero ang punto ho kasi ng amendments mga katropa is that to adapt ito nga pong online voting whenever the the time mga katropa, no, na magkaroon po ng pagpapalit sa liderato dyan po sa may Senado. So yan po mga katropa, yung isa nga po sa mga ito hindi naman na bago mga katropa, no, kasi ito po ay ginamit, no, during the time of former Senator Laila De Lima, di ba? Siya po ay napagbigyan ng katropa na bumoto sa pamagitan po ng online dahil po siya ay nakakulong during that time. Diba? Siya po ay naihalal na isa pong senador at naihalal bilang opisyal po, no, ng ating pong bansa. So, ang fear ho ngayon, mga katropa, no, of the majorities is meron ho ding kasing iniluluto na kaso, no? Tingnan ho ninyo mga katropa, no? Kaso laban ho dito kay Senator Marcoleta, dito po kay Senator Senator Jinggoy Estrada, no? At dito po kay Senator dito po kay Tess Daman, mga katropa. Iniluluto na kaso prior on this arguments na nangyari dyan po sa may Senado. So, Senator Bato is not the one who's gonna benefit, mga katropa, no, kapag pinag-usapan ho natin ang bagay ho na ito, kundi ito po mga senador na posibleng targetin pa at sampahan pa po ng kaso, mga katropa, dahil sa di umano'y pagkakasangkot ho nila, no, sa ilan daw pong anomalya. Diba? Puro doon po sa oposisyon. Sabi nga ho ni Congressman Boying Remulla, mga katropa, no, hindi daw ho masampa-sampahan ng kaso. Ito naman pong pinsan ng ating pong Pangulo, si dating House Speaker Martin Romualdez, dahil hinaharang daw po ng House panel. Diba? Yan naman po yung argumento po ng ombudsman. Bakit kapag dito po sa oposisyon, napakabilis masampahan ng kaso, pero kapag kaalyado, marami pong excuses ho ata. Diba? Yan na ho po mapasok, mga katropa, no? Na sabi ko nga po, para bang may selective justice na po dito po sa ating pong bansa. Sabi ko nga, magmamalinis lang din naman ho kayo, siguraduhin ho ninyong malinis ang inyo pong reputasyon, number 1. At sana po'y malinis din ho, no, ang inyo pong pagkatao, ang inyo pong record. Diba? Buti naman ho sana kung wala ho tayong alam, no, na pinawalang sala ang isa pong anak. Diba? Opisyal ho dyan. Kaugnay po sa pagkakasangkot ho niya. Diba? Siya pinagbabawal ho na gano'n. Diba? Wala daw pong enough evidence kahit andun na ho yung bloke-bloke po ng MJ. Oras na natin, mga katropa, 11:31. At syempre sa ating pong pagbabalik, sayin na ho natin ang ating pong mga katropa reporters sa ating pong studio o sa labas ng ating pong studio. Dito lamang ho yan sa ating pong hipilan sa XFM Santiago City. Makasadaan mo na natin ang ilang paalala.
Ito ang XFM Network Philippines sa Santiago City. Napapakinggan sa 104.9 MHz. XFM Express sa balita, Express sa paghahatid ng public service, Express sa paghahatid ng impormasyon, Express sa tugtugan. 104.9 XFM Santiago. Exciting!
Good morning, Nay. Apa ang punto markay ti Santon Plus Herbal Capsule?
Gamin kay diabetes sakti na baybayagin kay iso ti usarik nga pangpapisa ti bagit.
Kumusta jay ngay diabetes yung itat pa?
Ay bumababamit din.
Kasano ka bayag kayo nagtumtumar iti Santon Plus Herbal Capsule na?
Ganda ni 5 years in.
So nakatulong ka niya yung mapirpir niya?
Oo.
Anya tinagan nyo?
Crescencia Manuel.
Taga sa dino kayo na?
Pugo.
Pugo, Ichay.
Tiage, Isabela.
Maraming salamat di pa nagtumaryo iti Santon Plus na nakatulong na maagasan ata diabetes yun na.
Owen, ma'am.
Santon Plus Capsule, a quality product of Yes2Health Inc.
Nabayagay ka din nga inom iti Santon Plus Gold.
Hindi pelang adati bedridden ko talaga DJ tis usarin min ma'am nga dua. Nekat ti sakit-sakit ti bagbagik at saka pimik sa ak ma'am. Iso ti makunak ma'am digiti hampay nakapadas agusar da ko mamet.
Anya gayam tinagan nyo na ikin tagat no kayo?
Candelaria Pigalam taga Puro 4 Sampabyan Itchagay sa DELA ma'am.
Santon Plus Gold, a quality product of Yes2Health Incorporated. Sige ng Lolita Rumbawa, napagaling ng Santon Plus Coffee Mix.
Ang saw na kidit, magalang na bukol ti matres ko. Tapos, magkumit na ito eh. Mayat ko nada. Yung nagpada sa 2017 pa hindi.
Tapos, kumusta di bukol yung ilan?
Awan ka numit din. Ay, nakita.
Mayat tapwa.
So nga kanayon niya, gumata ka kiti ka store.
Natulungan na kayo gayam ti Santon Plus Coffee Mix. Tapno ti sa matunaw tayo bukol yun.
Nagkakape ka na, naggagamot ka pa. Santon Plus Coffee Mix, a certified quality product of Yes2Health Incorporated. Mas pinalakas, mas pinang-vitamin C. Santon Vitamin C. Siksik sa lakas, puro at natural. Santon Vitamin C. Palakasin ang resistensya. Mag-Santon Vitamin C na. 7 pesos lang. Gawa ng kumpanyang Yes2Health.
Mahilig ka ba magkape? Narito na ang kape na swak sa panlasa mo. Premium D3 Coffee Mix. Ang kape na siguradong kagigiliwan at hahanap-hanapin mo. Ito ay nagtataglay ng mangosteen extract na mapagkukunan ng iba't ibang antioxidants. At mayroon din itong vitamin D3, isa sa pinakamahalagang vitamina sa ating katawan. Mapapakapi ka talaga sa ating Premium D3 Coffee Mix. Premium D3 Coffee Mix, sweetened by stevia glycosides.
Clear Skin Beauty Soap is exclusively distributed by Pharma Ed Trading. Exclusive distributor of Yes2Health Incorporated products.
Sentro Plus Herbal Oil. Jenny Abellion, taga-Katiki. Dati, parating sumasakit ang aking puson dahil sa menstruation ko. Gumamit ako ng Sentro Plus Herbal Oil na wala ang sakit ng puson ko.
Sentro Plus Herbal Oil. Isang pahid lang sa puson. Desmenorrhea. No more. Sentro Plus Herbal Oil.
Good news mga katropa! Sa patuloy na paghahatid serbisyo ng Yes2Health Wellness Center ay naghahatid ito ngayon ng mga karagdagang serbisyo. Bukod sa libreng check-up at konsultasyon ay may 3 bagong serbisyo na sa inyo. Una, eye detox procedure. Pipigilin ang mabilis na paghina ng mata dulot ng pagtanda at pagagandahin ang kalusugan ng ating mata kasabay ng paglinaw ng ating paningin. Ikalawa, BioZap. Tatanggalin ang mga toxins, tutulong sa maayos na daloy ng dugo. At ikatlo, acupuncture. Pagagandahin ang sirkulasyon ng dugo. Sa alinman sa 3 bagong serbisyo ng Yes2Health Wellness Center ay nangangailangan ng 5 sesyon upang maramdaman ang naaayong epekto nito. At kapag nakumpleto ang 5 sesyon ng inyong napiling procedure, kayo ay mabibigyan ng isang ekstrang libreng sesyon. Ang Yes2Health Wellness Center ay matatagpuan sa Alfonso Street, Barangay Sentro East, Santiago City. Para sa karagdagang katanungan at impormasyon, tawagan lamang sila sa cellphone number 0910-01-87529.
Yes2Health Wellness Center. Yes2Health. Be the healthier you.
104.9 XFM. Exciting!
Patawarin mo ako, Hoveng.
Ano ang iyong sala, mahal kong ambong?
Bayaran na naman ng bills. Kulang na naman ang sweldo ko.
Sumali na lang tayo sa
Yes2Health Linggo-Linggo Panalo Promo. Linggo-Linggo Panalo Promo.
3 katropa kada linggo ang mananalo ng tig-1,000 piso.
Paano sumali? Kumpletuhin lang ang alinman sa Set A or Set B.
Ang Set A ay binubuo ng 2 empty blister packs ng Sentro Plus Herbal Capsule at 2 empty sachets ng Sentro Plus Coffee Mix.
Ang Set B naman ay binubuo ng 2 empty blister packs ng Sentro Plus Gold Capsule at 2 empty sachets ng Sentro Gold Coffee Mix.
Kapag nakumpleto ang alinman sa Set A o Set B, ilagay ang mga ito sa long white envelope at isulat ang pangalan, edad, address, cellphone number at pirmahan.
Ihulog ang mga entries sa designated drop boxes sa mga piling botika.
Sa pagbili ng mga produktong gawa ng Yes2Health Incorporated, naging healthy ka na, pwede ka pang manalo ng 1,000 piso linggo-linggo.
Hoveng, panalo ako! Panalo ako!
Ang dami mo kasing entries, ambong ko!
Tunay nga! More entries, more chances of winning!
Yes2Health, linggo-linggo, panalo promo!
Sali na, mga katropa!
Mga inay, mga itay, alam nyo ba ng measles o tigdas at rubella ay hindi lang basta sakit sa balat? Maaari itong magdulot ng komplikasyon gaya ng pagkabulag, pulmonya o mas malala pa. Kaya't huwag hayaang malagay sa panganib ang ating mga anak. Ngayong buwan ng Agosto, ilulunsad ng Department of Health ang Measles Rubella Supplemental Immunization Activity sa Luzon at Visayas. Libre, ligtas at dekalidad na bakuna para sa mga batang edad 9 na buwan hanggang 5 taon. At kahit bakunado na dati, kailangan pa rin nila ng extra protection. Magpunta na sa pinakamalapit na health center or vaccination post. Sa bakuna, ligtas ang bata, protektado ang pamilya. Isang paalala mula sa Department of Health, Cagayan Valley.
Kasaka, alam mo bang mainam na pagkain sa alagang hayop ang sorghum? Ang sorghum ay isang uri ng halaman na kung tawagin ay camel of crops dahil kaya nitong tumubo at mabuhay sa lupa nang hindi gaanong nangangailangan ng patubig kumpara sa tanim na mais. Sa loob lamang ng 102 hanggang 105 days ay maaari na itong anihin at karaniwang may taas itong 6 hanggang 9 na talampakan. Ang sorghum ay smart crops din kung tawagin sapagkat ang mga butil nito ay pwedeng pagkain ng tao o alagang hayop depende sa variety na itatanim na sorghum. Mabisa rin itong biofuel o gawing fertilizer. At ang dahon at puno nito ay mainam na pagkain sa mga hayop din sa pamamagitan ng silage o buro. Kung kaya't ang sorghum ay napakainam na pagkain sa alagang hayop na mayaman sa pagkukunan ng enerhiya at protina. Tiyak na ang kita, tiyak pa ang lusog ng mga alaga. Sa mga gustong magtanim ng sorghum, makipag-ugnayan o bumisita lang sa malapit na istasyon ng Department of Agriculture Region 2 sa inyong mga lugar.
Ay, hirap gumalaw pag may period. Lalo na kung bitin at hindi komportable ang pads. Buti na lang, nandyan ang Frida Sanitary Napkins para sa akin. Sa murang halaga, may extra comfort and protection ka. Don't let your period stop you. Switch to Frida Sanitary Napkins. Para gaya ko, you can stay active, stay confident all day. Free the moves with Frida Sanitary Napkins. Mabibili sa mga suking tindahan malapit sa inyo.
Your bill, sir.
What? 40,000 pesos for dinner?
1,400 only, sir.
Price check or eyes check for expert eye care, state-of-the-art facilities, affordable eyewear. Go to EO Executive Optical.
Your bill, sir.
Order for more. Dessert? EO. Love your eyes.
Ngayong tag-init, ang heat index sa Cagayan Valley ay umaabot mula 40 degrees Celsius hanggang 45 degrees Celsius. Dahil sa matinding init, marami ang maaaring makaranas ng heat stroke. Kaya't mahalaga na malaman natin ang mga sintomas nito upang makaiwas sa panganib at maprotektahan ang ating kalusugan. Pamumula ng balat, partikular na sa muka, labis na pagpapawis, pagkahilo, matinding sakit ng ulo na parang tumitibok, mabilis at malalim na paghinga, mabilis na pagtibok ng puso, slurred speech o pagkautal-utal ng pananalita, pangangalay, pagkawala ng malay, kumbulsyon, disorientation o pagkawala sa sarili. Kung ikaw ang iyong kasama ay nakakaranas ng mga sintomas na ito, agad na humingi ng tulong. Huwag magpabaya sa init ng panahon. Unahin ang iyong kalusugan at kaligtasan. Mag-ingat at maging maagap. Let's beat the heat. Alamin ang mga sintomas ng heat stroke at protektahan ang iyong sarili.
Come, grill with us and satisfy your Samgyup cravings at Sumiyaki Unlimited Grill. Bring your family and friends and enjoy a grill-tastic feast. Here's something special. We have a free meal for you on your birthday. You heard it right. Eat for free on your birthday with our unlimited Samgyu Nico birthday blowout. Just show a valid ID with your birth date. This offer is for dine-in customers only and cannot be combined with other promo or discounts. For more info, check out our FB page, Sumiyaki Unlimited Grill, located at FNZ Building, Maharlika Highway, Carrion Street, Sentro East, Santiago City. Open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. For inquiries, text or call them at CP number 0908-367-4210. Sumiyaki Unlimited Grill. RMJ Event Creations, event planning and event styling. Let RMJ Event Creations help you plan your big day. Schedule a package discussion with us today and avail a 20% discount on our wedding package. Know more about our wedding packages and other offers. Send us a private message today on our FB page, RMJ Event Creations. RMJ Event Creations. Our hotline number, 0920-227-1364. You can also find us at Robinson's Place in Santiago City and Robinson's Tugigaraw. RMJ Event Creations by Jacqueline Camacam Gabriel, Weddings and Event Specialist.
Nagpaplano ka ba ng espesyal na okasyon? Gawing mas memorable ang bawat selebrasyon kasama ang Angels Brew Restaurant at Bella's Catering Services. Mula sa birthday, kasal, debut, binyag, hanggang corporate event, siguradong panalo ang sarap at serbisyo. Tikman ang mga paboritong pagkain habang ina-enjoy ang relaxing at magandang ambience na perfect para sa pamilya at barkada. At para sa inyong handaan, Bella's Catering Services na ang bahala. Kumpleto sa masasarap na menu at maayos na catering setup para hassle-free ang inyong okasyon. Masarap na pagkain, eleganteng catering setup, friendly at quality service, sulit at swak sa budget. Kaya tara na sa Angels Brew Restaurant dahil sa bawat handaan, mas espesyal kapag may Bella's Catering Services. Follow them on Facebook, Angels Brew Restaurant and Bella's Catering Services, located at Barangay Mabini, near Community Center.
Ngayong 2026,
Mas palalakasin pa.
Mas tututok pa.
Mas magseserbisyo pa.
Mas palalawakin pa.
Mas pasisiglahin pa.
mas gagalingan pa.
Mas sisipagan pa.
Mas paiinitin pa.
Ito ang 104.9 XFM Santiago. Katropa mo.
Exciting.
Exciting.
Exciting. XFM.
Sentro. Sentro.
Nagbabalik ko tayo mga katropa dito po sa ating programang Sentro at nasa huling bahagi na ho tayo ngayon ng ating pong programa. Bati mo naman natin mga katropa si Mama Gina Verbo Unay. Sabi ho niya dito na imbag nga aldaw katropang ALTHEA. Happy Idil Adha. At sa lahat ng mga katropa sa XFM Santiago watching from Abu Dhabi. Binabati ho natin si Ma'am Gina Verbo Unay. Of course, binabati rin ho natin ang Unay family dyan po sa may San Isidro, Isabela. At sa katropang Iban, magandang tanghali din po sa inyong katropang Iban Lorenzo. Binabati rin ho natin sa katropang Tristan Wyatt Gulay. Magandang umaga po sa inyong magandang tanghali. At syempre, Happy Idil Adha po sa ating mga kapatid na Muslim. At yung mga katropa rin natin, mga overseas Filipino workers ho dyan sa Abu Dhabi. Ayan, katulad doon ni Ma'am Gina Verbo Una. Ma'am Gina! 11:47 oras ho natin mga katropa. Dapuan ho natin ang report ni katropang Edmar Galingan. Katropang Edmar, sa iyong report.
Yes, magandang
tanghali, buong pananampalataya at pagkakaisa na ipinagdiwang ng mga kapatid nating Muslim ang Idil Adha o kung tawagin natin ay Feast of Sacrifice na isa sa pinakamalagang okasyon ng relihiyong Islam. Kanina ay nagtugon tayo doon, Katropang ALTHEA, at nakasama natin ang siya pinakamataas sa pananampalataya ng Muslim sa Muslim community sa Santiago City na si Imam Abdul Fatah Adoma at ang president ng Muslim community na si Sir Samsudin Makarampat. At anila, maagang nagtungo sa mosque ang mga mananampalataya upang magsagawa ng sama-samang pagdarasal bilang pag-alaala sa katapatan at pagsunod ni Propeta Ibrahim sa kagustuhan ng Allah. Bahagi ng pagdiriwang itong tradisyonal na kurbani o yung pag-aalay ng hayop gaya ng baka, kambing bilang siyang simbolo naman ng sakripisyo at pagmamalasakit sa kapwa. Ang karne mula sa kinatay na hayop ay ibinabahagi sa mga komunidad, kamag-anak at iba pang mga nangailangan sa nasabing community. Nakiisa tayo, Katropang ALTHEA, at may kita natin sa video na ating ipinadala, Katropang ALTHEA, na nakiisa tayo sa kung papaano yung naging paraan ng pagdarasal ng ating mga kapatid na Muslim. So maging sa kanilang celebration ay sumama tayo upang pakikiisa sa makabunuhang pagdiriwang ng mga Muslim sa Idil Adha. Ayon sa mga Muslim, o dito nga kay Imam Katropang ALTHEA, itong Idil Adha ay hindi lang simpleng celebration, kundi napakahalaga nito dahil ito'y paalaala sa ating mga kababayang Muslim sa kahalagahan ng pagdarasal, pananampalataya, yung sakripisyo o yung pagtitiis, pagiging mababang loob at yung pagtulong sa kapwa. Katropang ALTHEA, lalo na sa panahon ngayon na tayo ay nasa gitna ng krisis. Samantala, Katropang ALTHEA, ng ating tanungin sa kung paano naging selebrasyon, naging maayos, mapayapa ito dahil nagtungo rin ang Santiago City Police Office, ang ilan sa ating mga kapulisan, at nagpadala rin ng ilan sa mga magagamit sa selebrasyon, ang ilan sa mga opisyal ng lokal na pamahalaan, si Attorney Sheena Tan at itong si Vice Mayor Jermaine Tan, ng mga pwedeng pagsalusaluhan ng ating mga kababayang Muslim dito nga sa may Santiago City. So, ang lokal na pamahalaan, ang law enforcement agencies, naglatag ng seguridad sa lugar na siyang pinagpanalanginan o pinagdarasalan ng ating mga kababayang Muslim. So 5 beses sa isang araw itong pagdarasal ng ating mga Muslim at nasubukan natin ito, Katropang ALTHEA, ramdam na ramdam natin yung kanilang pananampalataya at kanilang pagmamahal sa kanilang nasa ating Panginoon. So yan lamang muna ang ating ulat, Katropang ALTHEA, dito sa may Purok, Darussalam Muslim Community sa may Santiago City. Ako si Katropang Edmar Galingana para sa Nagkakaisa Pilipino, sa Pilipinas at sa buong mundo. XFM News.
Uy, maganda yan, Katropang Edmar, no? Talaga nga namang punong-puno ang kanilang puso sa pananampalataya. Pero ano ba yung parang pinakasentro naman ng kanilang panalangin ngayong panahon na ito, Katropang Edmar?
Alam mo, Katropang ALTHEA, napakaganda ng tanong mo dahil yan yung itinanong natin kanina. So sa inyong taimtim na pananalangin, kasi ito'y mula sa puso at hindi kailangang marinig ng iba, Katropang ALTHEA, sa bawat pagluod nila, kanilang binibigkas ang kanilang panalangin. At alam mo, Katropang ALTHEA, isa sa sumisentro sa kanilang panalangin ay itong pagkakaisa sa ating pamahalaan dahil ang apektado rin dito, Katropang ALTHEA, ay ang buong sambayanan. Pagmamahalan sa kapwa, pagkakaisa at magsakripisyo para sa ikabubuti ng bawat isang mamamayang Pilipino. So isa ito, Katropang ALTHEA, sa kanilang isang panalangin na anila nga ay sana mapakinggan ng Allah dahil ito yung epekto ngayon, nagkakawatak-watak nagkakagulo. Kaya nga sabi ni Imam kanina at maging si President Samsudin, ang dami ngayong patayan, ang dami ngayong rape, ang dami ngayong nakawan, nakakalungkot. Sana ay maging maayos ang ating bansang Pilipinas. Yun, Katropa Althea.
Okay, sige. Maraming salamat, Katropang Edmar Galingana dyan sa may Darussalam, Santiago City.
XFM Live Report.
At syempre mga katropa, no, sa mga kapatid ho nating Muslim, sana po ay matupad ano po mga panalangin. At alam ko po, no, na hindi lang ho kayo ang nananalangin ho dyan. Kasi sabi ko nga, sa hirap po ngayon ng buhay, tapos mapapakinggan ho natin ang ating po mga leaders ay nagsisisihan.
Sentro.
Kung sino po ang tunay na dapat sisihin sa kahirapan po ng ating pong mga kababayan, sa mga kapwa ho natin Pilipino. Dapat lamang din ho na gawin na lamang ho ninyo inyong pong trabaho. Diba? Kasi kung tayo po ay magsisihan at magtuturoan as if you're not a leader as well, parang ang inyo pong pananatili po sa inyo pong mga pwesto ay para bagang sinasabi nyo ho sa amin na yan lamang po mga katropa ay purely for the show. 11:53 oras ho natin. Nakuha naman ho natin ang report ni Katropang Giro CRUZ dito po sa Santiago City. Katropang Giro.
Katropang ALTHEA, formal ng pinasinayaan ang 106.9 milyong piso Icon Complex Phase 1 sa Barangay Marana, First Unit of Ilagan na inaasahang magpapalakas sa produksyon ng mais at kabuhayan ng mga magsasaka sa lungsod. Ang pasilidad ay may drying capacity na 10,560 metriko tonelada kada taon at naisa katuparan sa pamamagitan ng pagtutulungan ng Department of Agriculture Region 2 at ng City Government ng Ilagan. Ayon kay Mayor Jose Marie Diaz, malaking hakbang ang proyekto sa pagsusulong ng circular economy model ng lungsod dahil layunin nitong mabawasan ang post-harvest losses, mapahusay ang pagpapatuyo ng mais at mapataas ang kita ng lokal na pamahalaan at mga magsasaka. Binigyan din ng alkalde na makikinabang dito ang mahigit sa 1,100 corn farmers at lalo nitong pagtitibayin ang pagkilala sa lungsod bilang corn capital of the Philippines. Samantala, sinabi naman ni DA Undersecretary Engineer Roger Navarro na nakaayon ang proyekto sa pambansang programa para sa food security at agricultural modernization. Kasama rin sa programa sina DA Assistant Secretary Unicols Manalo at DA Region 2 Director Rosemary Aquino. Ay naman kay Board Member Arco Meris na kumatawan kay House Speaker Faustino Boji III, simbolo umano ang proyekto ng pagunlad, oportunidad at suporta para sa mga lokal na food producers. Nakasaad na maniningil ang pasilidad ng 1.70 pesos kada kilo para sa drying services. Tinatayang kikita ito ng 17.9 million kada taon, sapat upang matustusan ang 16.9 million operational expenses at makalika ng halos 1 milyong taunang kita. Bahagi rin ang aktibidad ng paglagda sa buyback memorandum of agreement sa pagitan ng lokal na pamahalaan, asosasyon ng mga ama sa syudad ng Ilagan Multipurpose Cooperative, CP Seeds Corporation at Sharon Pokhand Foods Philippines Corporation upang matiyak ang merkado at nakapirming presyo ng mga ani ng kooperatiba. Kasabay dito ay pinagkaloob din ng DA ang congressional recommendation para sa pagtatatag ng kauna-unahang Corn Research Institute sa bansa sa City of Ilagan dahil sa lokasyon at mataas na volume ng produksyon ng mais sa lungsod. Yan ang ating balita mula dito sa lungsod ng Ilagan para sa nakakaisang Pilipino sa Pilipinas at sa buong mundo. Ito si Katropang Giro CRUZ, XFM News.
Maraming salamat, Katropang Giro. 11:56 oras po natin mga katropa. No? At syempre, maraming salamat po sa mga katropa ho nating sumabay at sumama dito po sa ating pong programang Sentro. Of course, sa mga katropa ho natin, ipapaalala ko lamang din ho sa inyo na ang ating pong Yes2Health Linggo-Linggo Panalo promo mga katropa ay tuloy-tuloy pa rin ho yan. Dito po sa ating himpilan sa XFM Santiago.
Sentro.
Yan naman sa mga katropa ho natin, kung kayo po ay nagtatanong, Katropang ALTHEA, paano ba sumali sa ating Yes2Health Linggo-Linggo Panalo promo? simple lamang po mga katropa ha. Kung meron ho kayong long white envelope ho dyan, yan po mga katropa, no, ang of course kailangan ho natin. Pero one of the entries mga katropa, no, na dapat makita ho namin sa inyo pong long white envelope ang ating pong mga produkto ng Yes2Health Incorporated. Andiyan po mga katropa, no, sa ating pong set B. Ito po yung set B ho natin. Kung kayo po user mga katropa ng ating pong Sentro Plus Gold Herbal Capsule, nako, 2 empty blister packs ang kailangan ho namin dyan mga katropa, no. 2 basyo ng banig. Kaya naman sa mga katropa ho natin, no, kung meron ho kayong 2 basyo ng banig ho dyan ng Sentro Plus Herbal Capsule, aba, pwede nyo na ho yung ipasok mga katropa sa ating pong long white envelope. At syempre mga katropa, no, samahan nyo po ang ating pong Sentro Plus Gold Herbal Capsule ng ating pong Sentro Gold Coffee Mix with glutathione and collagen. Yan naman po yung kape ho natin mga katropa, no, bago ho nating paborito. Ang ating pong Sentro Gold Coffee Mix with glutathione and collagen mga katropa, 2 empty sachet lamang din ho ang kailangan ho natin dyan. So, bali kompleto na mga katropa ha. Mayroon ho tayong Sentro Plus Gold Herbal Capsule, 2 empty blister packs at 2 empty sachet ng ating pong Sentro Gold Coffee Mix with glutathione and collagen. So yan po mga katropa, no, ang makikita ho namin dapat sa inyo pong long white envelope. Nako, dapat selyuhan nyo rin po yan mga katropa ha, at sa likod ilagay ho ninyo yung pong pangalan, edad, address, contact number at pirmahan nyo po yan. And of course, pwede nyo hong i-drop po yan mga katropa ha sa ating pong mga drop boxes. Diyan po sa may lalawigan po ng Nueva Vizcaya, sa may Bayambong, sa may QMed Pharmacy. Meron din ho tayo sa may Solano, Nueva Vizcaya, diyan po sa may Mega Trade. Diyan po sa may 95.7 XFM Tuguegarao. Diyan po sa may Benito Silven, sa may J. Aves. Meron din ho tayo sa may City of Ilagan, mga katropa, sa may St. Clair, Forward Drug, Solar Drug at Excel Pharmacy. Meron na tayo sa may Kawayan City, Isabela, sa may Botica Aves, Aves Drugstore, Farmacia Aves, AB Atienza Drugstore at Magmanlag Pharmacy. Sa Malilig, mga katropa ha, sa may Needs Central Pharmacy, Rojas sa may Romerings Pharmacy at Rated A, Aurora Isabela sa may Infant Jesus Public Market, Ramon Isabela sa may Santo Niño Pharmacy at Amora Pharmacy. Diyan po sa may Alicia sa may Botica Mika, sa Echagi Isabela sa may Pharma-Ed, Trapatuyan ng Ficobac. At syempre diyan po sa may Jones Isabela sa may Farmacia Marie, Dipun Quirino sa may Kmart Drug, Cordon sa may Daily Drug, Tapatuyan ng munisipyo, at dito po sa Santiago City sa may Farmacia Navarro, Lovens Drug at sa ating pong Yes2Health Wellness Center. Alas 12 punto ng tanghali mga katropa. Maraming salamat sa mga katropa nating nakasama natin ngayong araw po na ito. Ngayong tanghali po ng Miyerkules. Bukas yung mga katropa ha. Medyo hindi nyo makakasama muna si katropang ALTHEA. At maraming salamat sa mga katropa natin. Talaga nga naman pong sumama ho sa atin mga katropa ngayong tanghali ho na ito. Sa ngalo po ni katropang Edmar Galingana, katropang Giro Cruz sa field, sa ating pong engineering department si katropang Mark Garcia. Ako po inyong lingkod, katropang ALTHEA de la Cruz, para sa nagkakaisang Pilipino, para sa Pilipinas at sa buong mundo. Excited!